If I'm honest, I really didn't want to make this video. I was this close to not making a reflections video at all. I actually felt zero desire to set any goals this year. Normally I'm someone who eats up the opportunity to reflect, to improve my life, to get excited and manifest what's gonna come. But honestly, 2023 terrifies me. 2023 is the year I will graduate university. I will move away from all my friends, where I have so much uncertainty, where I'm going to start a job, and I just know everything's going to change. I've been in the bubble of uni for 4 years, and everything is going to change this year. So thinking about resolutions, I don't know what I'm doing in June, let alone this whole year. But whether you're an avid resolution setter, or like me, you're feeling a bit hesitant, or perhaps you've never even set resolutions before, I really think this process is so valuable. Because the way that I go about setting goals for the year is not choosing silly little things just for the sake of sounding cool, but to deeply, deeply reflect on the last year, everything that it brought you, everything that came up, and to decide whether you want to shift your priorities for this year. It's as simple as that. In today's video, I'm going to review the goals that I set myself last year. We're going to reflect on what I learned and manifest what I want to bring into this year. Last year, my goal was to be a bad bitch. To not care too much about work and school and get caught up in the pressure, but to just live and set boundaries. My main goal this year, to listen to my intuition. To carve all of my next steps from a place that feels right. This video is also so kindly sponsored by Notion, which is a tradition that I'm lucky enough to have said for the last 2 years, and Notion is the backbone of my entire life. I love Notion. It is a powerhouse tool where I write my to-do lists, where I plan my YouTube videos, where I put all my class notes for university, where I plan my dissertation, where I wrote my book. It is truly life-changing, and yes, the start can seem so hard because Notion can do so many things. But if you've never used it before, I promise that spending 1 hour setting up Notion could be the most important hour of your 2023. I also use a lot of Amelia Croner's templates, which I will link down below if you're interested. Okay, so how can we set goals for the future without first looking back into the past? Let's have a look at my 2022 goals and reflections. In general, I think I did keep to them quite well because I made them very realistic and I checked in on this page at least every month, and I use Notion to keep me accountable. So fitness and health, I had this little toggle. It's really easy to make a toggle on Notion. You can just do this / and then type in tog, and you've got a toggle list where you can open something out. So something that I wanted to continue from 2021 is yoga or meditation at least every other day, and I definitely did this. These habits have become so core to my sense of self, my routines, my personality, independent of where I am. So that definitely continued. I also am a little bit addicted to making sure I take my supplements and just making sure that I am as healthy as possible, especially during uni. I downloaded the meditation app Waking Up a year ago, and I'm still using it to this day. So I did do at least 10 minutes of meditation every day, which is really cool. I did get a gym membership and I did work out not 3 times a week, but quite a lot during London. I was consistent with my skincare, but I also got a lot of acne, so then had to change it up and then lost consistency, so still figuring out the skin. Meal prep kind of fell apart. That's okay. Definitely spent too much money in London on food, and sleep was just up and down. Like some periods I slept so much, others less, like final season. Skills. I think the first part of the year I definitely focused on getting better shots and cooler angles and editing and all this stuff. But I go through waves of focusing on making high quality videos versus focusing on friends, life, school. So right now I think I'm in a phase of not being as good of a filmmaker, but I did try. I did not really learn more about camera settings, lighting theory and audio quality. I just am not a techie. It's just not interesting. I do need to do it at some point, but city exploration, I do think I improved. Having difficult conversations, yes. To be totally candid, last year for me was one of the most chaotic, hard years of my personal life ever, in terms of like family and relationships and friends and so many things. So I definitely leaned into learning how to have harder conversations and trying to handle them, process them maturely. So I think I definitely improved that skill, and I read a lot of books about human relationships. Learning. So I study cognitive science, and I have a particular interest in metacognition of mindfulness and consciousness and like any neural markers that we can see of consciousness. And I listened to a lot of the podcasts on waking up to learn more about this. Did not complete them all, definitely went in phases, but I do think I'm more knowledgeable. This is so cool that I wrote this about the science of learning, because I ended up doing a tutorial, proposing a tutorial and designing it, and effectively teaching some of my classmates about what I've learned from different areas of the science of learning for a whole semester. Me and 7 other interested students conducted this whole class. It was amazing. It was actually one of the best courses I've ever done. So I loved that. Learn about edtech space. Yes, I was super intentional about this over summer. I did some freelance work for an edtech in London. I reached out to so many people on LinkedIn trying to work out if edtech is the place for me. Spoke to a lot of product managers. Right now, not feeling like it's for me, might change, but I do think I've explored this question last year like I wanted to. I know so much more about startups, like the terminology. Learn about investing. I definitely over summer got more into this. I have like an ISA. I experimented with crypto stuff, which ended up being a very poor decision. Definitely learned more about NFTs, crypto, intersection with climate. And I have such a more nuanced view than I did a year ago. I definitely read into Britain's colonial past. Bloody hell. How is this not taught to us in the UK? It's mind-blowing to me. I think I have a totally different perspective on my place in the world, knowing the country that I come from and its history, and how so much of our sense of nationalism and our institutions are built off of this colonial past. Start learning Spanish in summer. This is so cool. I did a Lingoda course in Spanish, and by Buenos Aires semester, I could speak Spanish. I could have conversations with people, which was so satisfying. And it's already slipping, but I'm very proud of myself. And my parents actually came to visit me, and they were shocked that I could speak to waiters and stuff. So yeah, did that. Focus on TikTok. Did I do that? I mean, I guess. Now I've basically given up on TikTok again, so it doesn't feel as relevant right now, but yeah. Develop stronger workflows, consistency, yes. Definitely explore career options, definitely learn how to set boundaries, definitely explore my sexuality, which was a big part of last year. Started therapy, did months of therapy for the first time ever, invested so much in my mental health. That was a huge theme of the year. It's just such a year of growth, my God. Literally created a whole app, which is amazing, beta testing and getting user feedback. Never created an NFT drop, and I have no regrets about that, because the more I learned about crypto, the more I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I found my capstone topic, and now I'm almost finished my capstone. So it's actually really crazy reading that. I do think I understood what I wanted from the year, and I definitely got it. As I'm thinking about 2023, so there's this section of my goals and reflections, which starts with reflecting on the last year. For example, 3 favorite parts, what I'm most proud of, what challenged me most. And normally just filling out these toggle questions on Notion is sufficient. But last year was so much for me that I ended up reflecting in this notebook for literally half the notebook. Like, all of this is just reflections. It was a year. And I also downloaded this, which is called Year Compass, and you can also download their Notion template, which is so helpful. And it's just like a free resource that asks you questions about your year and helps you plan the next one. And I think if you have a lot on your mind or stuff that you haven't processed, really taking the time to dig into that is so helpful and important for your own growth. Yeah, and writing some of these reflections was like one of the toughest things that I've done in a long time. It's been a hard period, guys. If you watched my video of going home before Taipei, you would know I'm just going through a lot, so yes. But whether you've gone through a lot, whether you feel like actually I'm in a really good place, take the time to do these reflections. Answer the question, who are the most meaningful people in your last year? If you could have changed one thing about last year, what would it have been and why? And now, so we've reflected. We know what the last year held. If you didn't complete your resolutions, if you didn't even have them, you can take a moment to think, why is that? Why didn't I complete some of these? Were they not that important to me? Did I not make an effort to hold myself accountable to completing them? And now we can move into this year. So I always split up my resolutions into categories: fitness and health, skills, learning, YouTube, personal projects, and academic. And then a bunch of other questions. This really helps me compartmentalize and dig deep into all these very important sections of your life. And the beauty of Notion is that I can format it so easily. So, you know, again, with this /, I can just put H3 and I get this heading, and I can put anything here, or I can get one of these larger headings, like fitness. It is the best tool. It is so good. So up here I created a call out, and I chose a little sparkle emoji because it's me. And I asked, what are the 3 words that I want to describe my year, or that I think will describe it? And for me, this is the year of intuition, transformation, and change. And that sounds terrifying, but this whole idea of intuition is leaning into what feels right, leaning into even stuff that's scary, listening for this internal whisper that is telling me I should move in this direction, maintain contact with this person who I network with who maybe could have opportunities, working out where I want to live based off of gut feeling. So yeah, a lot of intuition. So fitness and health is very similar to last year. I want to meditate, I want to get enough sleep, I want to have a good skincare routine, I want to take vitamin D and B12. And Notion actually lets you create amazing trackers to help you keep track of which days you took these and didn't. One thing I'm recently doing is I'm taking athletics greens, AG1. My mum got it for me for Christmas, and I've just always seen influencers using it, but I'm very skeptical. I'm like, does it actually work? But I've done a lot of research, and it seems to have a lot of nutritional basis. It has like 75 essential vitamins, and I'm not always the healthiest in my diet at uni, so yeah, if this actually does help, I would love to keep taking it. I've been quite consistent so far in January. I'd love to attend at least 1 yoga class in person with other people per week. I'm gonna get a gym membership here in Taipei, and I also want to go to the sauna at least once every 2 months. Skills. Improve my meditation ability and do a Vipassana retreat. If you're unfamiliar with Vipassana, it is a 10-day retreat where you're silent. You don't talk for 10 days. I've always wanted to do it just as like a challenge and a moment to like truly reflect on my life. So I think this is the year. Post Minerva, I want to learn how to build a stable home. Things like interior design. Guys, I have never designed a consistent space, apart from my bedroom back home, but even then, I never really like bought furniture for it. So I want to learn how to build a life, and especially to build a community outside of university. This is a skill that I need to learn and practice. I still want to lean into difficult conversations with empathy, honesty, and clarity. As I say, listening to my intuition, I'm sorry, that is a skill. That is a skill, especially as someone who's very sensitive, but also kind of a people pleaser. It is a choice to listen and to act based off of what I know I feel. And it's so much easier to go along with what other people want, but really like tuning back in, that is the goal for this year. Leadership and hiring a team. So post Minerva, as I start to have a bit more stability in my life, I would love more help to expand my YouTube channel to what I think and know it can be. And I need to learn to delegate because I'm a perfectionist. I need to learn to ask for favors because I just have this bias that I can do it all myself, which I can't. I want to network more, LinkedIn queen, please. And I want to improve my public speaking ability. I think in general, I've already improved this a lot over the last decade of my life, but I've kind of not focused on that as much in the last few years. So this is the year. Learning. So we do have a few secrets on here, can't tell you about, but some things that I can tell you about are effective altruism. I did an EA fellowship last semester, and EA is this movement of people who are questioning how you can have the most impact in the world. They don't have definitive answers, but some of the things they suggest are the power of the money that you donate to certain charities is just so much larger based off of the efficacy of the organisation. So having these well-researched organisations and putting your money there rather than any old charity is literally changing the world so much more. And EA covers everything from global health and poverty to AI safety and climate change, education, so many sectors. And as I think about my future career, I think it's a space that seems very interesting and has a lot of cool, like-minded people, but also there's a lot of critiques of the space and the way it's done. So I'm just gonna dig into that this year. And I do want to attend an event. Learn about more organisations and think tanks who are aiming to change education systems. I am so interested in education and it can be so much better. So much better. Really random, but I want to learn more about the debate about free will, as it also relates a lot to consciousness and like mindfulness stuff. I want to learn about forward carbon credits, refi, and carbon economy as a solution to the climate crisis. And kind of similar to above, I really want to learn how to build a community of like-minded people beyond just university, because I love the people here and I want more people like this around. YouTube is a lot of delegation stuff going on. I just want to create more good content that feels authentic to me. I want to host minimum 2 meetups and I want to create more of a sense of community. Personal, work out where I want to live, what my job will be, how I want to live my post-Minerva life. And therapy, I want to restart it because I ended just before the start of summer. And I think I have things that I would love to work through, and one of them is shame around, love, embracing my YouTube success. Like, I think I don't really appreciate how incredible it is, what I've built and how much work has gone into it. So I need to be better at that. Personal projects, potentially I would love to create a deep question card game just for fun. I think it'd be really cool. Reset challenge stuff and creating more community. Academic, this is the first half of this year, I'm sorry. Focus on my bloody capstone dissertation. Finish Minerva with lofty goal, but I would love a 4.0 GPA. That would be like, you know, absolute dream, but who knows? And actively keep in touch with my favourite professors. Okay, so these are my general goals for the year. And then I also have this growth section, which if you download my template is also on there. And I think it's so important to qualitatively answer about where you see yourself. Like in a year, who are you? What have you learned? What are you doing? Your imagination is such a powerful tool. You know, things for me like worrying about graduation. I really hope I can read this in a year and realise, like it all turned out fine, like why are you worrying? So the way I actualize my goals is also through Notion. So this is my Life Hub page where I have everything from continuous stuff to my learnings, where I put, you know, my reflections on podcasts, to YouTube and videos, class notes, university stuff. For example, this is my daily to-do list. I live on this page every day. I will brain dump into the today section. The amazing thing about Notion is, look, I can just drag these to-do items across so easily. I can also share this page with my friends or family or my manager, anyone I want to keep me accountable or to see what I'm getting up to. It is just the most life-changing tool and I'm so grateful that I started using it a few years ago. Okay, so I really hope this video has inspired you to not only reflect on last year, but to really question what you want to get out of this one. I think there's this assumption sometimes that if you just roll through time that you'll get what you want in life, but you actually have to articulate what it is that you want. What do you want to attract? How do you want to feel this year? Who do you want to surround yourself with? And the more specific you can be, the more likely you are to find success in that. So do your best not to be arbitrary and vague, like get honest. What do you want this year to be? I think it's also worth noting that I am making this video in mid-January, you know, like it's not the end of December, it's not the 1st of January. This is your little reminder that it doesn't need to be the 1st of January. It doesn't need to be the end of December. It doesn't even need to be January anymore if you're watching this in June, you know, like time is this human-defined construct, and I truly believe that you can reset at any moment of your life. So if it feels right to reflect and move forward now, then you've got this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't recommend Notion enough. I promise it will change the game for you this year, and it's fully customizable to you. But if you want to get started, you can check out my free template below and start reflecting. I'm genuinely wishing you the best 2023. Bye guys.